Hi, everyone. This is Ellen Francisco. Welcome. It's good to be here, not be totally frazzled and out on the edge like so many others are. So we're going to do a tarot reading. We're going to read the field, cosmic field, as well for this new moon in July 2020. I hope you're hanging on, and I hope you're hanging on, and I hope you believe that you're going to make it. So the first card at the center of our reading today is the Eight of Cups. So we're all on some kind of a journey. There's loss that we're leaving behind. We're being forced, obviously on a society level, to leave behind old norms. This is the kind of card where you expect to go on some kind of a journey and you want to travel light. So the things that don't really resonate with you, the things that don't really speak to your core truth and your core energies should be in question now and being dispelled in ways that are relieving and comforting. And yeah, lots of journeying. And I still really think that a lot of us our journey is really inward, and we're really working on as much as, like, it's really deep work. So if you're sensitive to energy, you're going to feel it. Obviously subtle is obviously subtle. And then we've got Seven of Cups behind it. So the propensity towards perhaps illusions and delusions and ideas of grandeur are here, and the possibility of not really being grounded or totally realistic. So in combination with the Eight of Cups, I mean, this is crossing it, right? At the beginning of my Celtic cross. So so it would be good if you're having ideas and things that you're going forth with to try to be as creative as possible in how you're going to do it. And it's, like, you may have been in this sort of dream state as far as making your plans. How are we going to do this? How are we transitioning? Are we going with this? Are we fighting it? Are we starting all over? Are we leaving everything behind? What are we doing? So you get grounded in by doing things that are tangible in the world, even in between the times that you don't understand whether you actually can move, and if you can move, if you're actually going to get there. Like, it's just such sticky energy in this next month. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, sidestepping, box tailing, all of it. So I also get the sense with this Pentacle card that we're really taking stock of what we have. Like, so much has come into question. Our gratitude attitude is definitely being asked to be looked at, and so is kind of positive inventorying as well. Like, as things are falling apart in the outer world, you do want to try to stabilize and figure out, what are my strong points? What do I have going for me? Like, you can't really forget the substance of who you are when you're doubtful of where you're going. So it makes getting there a little easier because you're more connected to yourself in the moment. So Queen of Swords has been in this spread, as part of the eclipse cycles that I read on last month earlier and this month earlier. So she's here, she's upside down, she's actually in the position of moving out. So it's kind of good because the communication, well, it doesn't matter, I guess I'll let that one go for a moment. Communication is always key. But this can also mean that in the coming month, it's going to be really hard to not be irritable and fussy and cranky and reactive and explosive and all of that kind of stuff too, especially with tongue and, sharing attitudes and, lots of attitude. So we've got Ace of Wands, but it's, in fact, I picked it up in the wrong direction, but it's upside down this time. So that speaks to me of delays, like starting, right? Aces are always, what are you starting? What are you getting off the ground? Are you enterprising? Are you changing your business? Are you switching where your heart calling is? All of it. It could be up for grabs. So in the reverse position, don't expect things again to move too quickly. And but flashes of insight during this period can be really good. So even if you can't get enough forward momentum to feel like you're doing something, then try to at least get things down on paper, get things sorted out, you know, make your lists, cross things off your lists, show that there's a tangible effort in trying to get things done. So Queen of Pentacles is our next card. And again, I kind of get the sense that she's speaking about the whole look at what's at my core. Who am I really? What am I doing? What am I gestating? How am I growing? How am I challenging myself? Is it enough challenge or not enough challenge? Where, you know, what am I seeding, and how patient am I in allowing things to go through their gestational period properly without too much tampering, and relying on kind of almighty creator to determine pacing and flows of how things unfold. Three of Wands speaks to me about collaborations, but mostly in the sense of your own holy inner trinity, you know, me, myself, and I, and above, below, and within all of it. It's sort of a combination of your inner guru and how you play it in the outer fields of life. So again, inner core work, you know, very subtle, deep changes that you would be feeling in one way or another, but that might not be noticeable to everyone else quite yet, but coming along nonetheless. So that's the thing. When you imprint into your own future and you have wishes and desires for yourself, you kind of go up and out of your body and search for it in the, you know, forward in the timeline. You make your connections and then you come back, you know, and then in this physical, visceral world, you try to wait patiently for the future to catch up with the present. And yeah, you might think that might be the other way around, but it's actually every which way. So patience, I guess. August. So reverse sun. So the idea too of where we're going, what are we empowered with, how are we working with our power, using our third chakra energy to propel ourselves, and then it's in the reverse position. So, you know, wow, more waiting, more but illumination nonetheless. So, you know, sometimes you really do have to stand still to hear what you need to hear. And, you know, solitude and quietude, inner work. Yeah, that's for sure. It's interesting because I got the 10 here of swords, and like, talk about feeling depleted after that's happened to you. So I'm going to look at this in the energy around the other cards as, you know, the emotional clearing that we've been forced to go through because of all of this deep inner work that's just been, you know, pushed into us. this is basically okay, we're about cooked, we're about done, we're about ready to move on. So this is like a really good month to go a little deeper into whatever other traumas and revisitations of emotional duress will be peeking their eerie heads. So just know that it's going to be, it's a necessary step along the way. You know, you can't just have roses and sunshine and happy-go-lucky inner illusions and delusions. You know, you do have to have a little bit of reality here and now to string yourself along. And then my word at the end of this all is the Hangman upside down. So after you've gone through all of this deep inner work and inner transitional and coming to terms and taking stock and reevaluating and being willing to let go and being willing to walk away and being willing to rebuild without any certainties, then here you are changing at your core to the point that you may clearly be almost unrecognizable. So, I think the less you hold on to your own paradigms of thought and beliefs at this point is going to be better in service to you as far as suspending your own internal animation and expectations and desired outcomes. So having less attachment to how it's going to look when you get there, and more interest in how it's going to feel when you get there is pretty much, I think, what we're going to be grappling with this month, because it's easy to pinpoint now what's out of focus and what's out of alignment. It's way easier to see. And I really think that so much is crazy in the world stage that, you know, why not let your inner ghosts and goblins out to heal themselves, all the hauntings of your past, while nobody's watching. Like, nobody's really going to care if you go through a personal inner crisis and get your inner work done. You know what I mean? So I still feel like we need to consider support systems and helpful beings in this dimension and others, however you call in your help, still continue to work with that. You need your allies, just like this guy does, and his co-partners and supporters. And keep in mind that whatever you've been challenged with or feeling tumultuous over, that there are still strong parts of you that are unshakable, and that you've put in foundational work, probably without you even consciously realizing it. You know what I mean? Like, your spirit is still working for your core all the time. And yeah, so wow, that was fast with those cards, right? So let's talk about the energetic and the kind of collective. Yeah, I'm just going to sort of tune into what else is going on for us this coming month. So yeah, the world stage is of course going to just keep getting wackier and wackier. And it's going to be important to, as much as you want to help and change and hope and pray and everything else, that you try to discern what you actually take on and what you actually have exposure to. So, you may have to kind of cut off a little bit or have a boundary with all, media and everything else. So just to kind of offset. It's like less electronics this month and more nature too, for sure. It's so I'm seeing Wow. Okay, that's awesome. I'm seeing that we're really working this month on heart chakra as much as the other ones are getting activated. Like we're always working on something overall. And the last all the eclipse energy kind of brought up all the communication parts, throat chakra and things like that. But this time I feel like it has much more to do with stabilizing the universal heart mind in yourself and working on um, opening, balancing. It's a balancing act mostly in the heart. So, and that could be too related to relationships and looking at them and going, oh, do I stay? Do I go? Do I stay? Do I go? Do I here? Do I there? Do I, what do I do? So you could be vacillating a lot this month in, oh, what do I do? I don't know, it's not right. Like you're going to have old parts of you that are going, it's like this, and it's like this, and it's like this. And then you're going to have these newer parts of yourself going, it's okay, it's going to be fine, it's what it is, and you can just love it anyway. So keep in mind that the whole point of living in your heart chakra is to gain the neutrality of unconditional love and wholehearted compassion without having to take it on, right? Like you do not have to have a codependent relationship with the world right now. You can actually have an interdependent relationship and create some space and boundary for yourself so that you don't have to be a victim to the um, to the manic mess that it really is. So detoxifying in any way would be a really good thing to do this month too. I would put some extra focus into diet and listening to your body and what it's saying to you, because it is such a deep inner work of structure that you're working within. So yeah, that would be good to do. And with it, the new moon in Cancer too, fluid, being willing to be fluid, being willing to suspend your own beliefs in the possibility that you might be learning things that are better for you or will serve you in more wholehearted ways, and work towards some of the acceptance that goes with that, because a lot of times, you kind of got acceptance and forgiveness wound up in the heart energy, and working patiently through that. Um, yeah. All right. So, let's see. I think in a lot of ways this month is going to be not so much mind, as much as it is going to be feel, feel, feel. So it might be hard to focus on things too. If it might be hard to problem solve in linear ways. You may have to, and I think I hinted on that with just the card that I thought of that. Just more creative solution, more creative problem solving. Also getting down to the nitty gritty of what's the actual issue here. You know what I mean? Like if there's an irritation and something sets you off on the surface, there's usually something underlying that's been, building or doing whatever. So I would say go in and just kind of keep your eyes open for chasing that squirrel down the hole kind of a thing, and see what you can find as you look a little closer into yourself, and gain some inner understanding of what it is that you're really, where your beefs really are, right? Like that's part of this taking stock thing. It's like, what makes me uncomfortable? How can I avoid it? And how can I resolve it so I don't need to avoid it? I mean, you do have choices here, and I think just choosing any day of the week the approach to your own inner self and what you need at the most basic level is going to be the like the healthiest place to come from, clearly. So I also get the sense that, you know, all of the kind of amped up um, reliances that we've had on substances, whether you drink or you smoke or you eat or you whatever you do. I feel like this could be a breakthrough month as far as just kind of reining that back in, funny enough. So even though it could be a really emotional month, it still seems like there's a little bit of an opening to at least gain some more healthier habits that would allow a bit of a shift, you know, and to kind of feed the self-esteem in a way that kind of gives you a little bit more to go on. Like, oh, okay, I did that, I can do this now. Oh, that's great, I did that, I can do this. So it's like building blocks. It's, yeah, it's like almost systematic building blocks as well. I'm seeing it all like stacked up actually. So should be an interesting month. Yeah. Let's see if I can see anything else worth mentioning. And I'll just pull another card and see what's coming up in our future, just a little further ahead. Six Cups. Yeah, interesting. So Six of Cups and Six of Wands are coming up. So self-nurturing friendships, you know, beautiful, loving supports, and yeah, I think it's interesting because as much as the inner work that we're doing, we still need to be recognized in the outer world for it. So it should be interesting to see how we work with this energy as far as like everybody wants to always put their best foot forward and be interesting. So yeah, this is to me in a lot of ways too. This is like a victory dance card, you know, like, okay, you did it. You've come all this way. This is great. You've got something to celebrate. You did it. Excellent. And other people are recognizing your hard work. So that's a good thing to have coming up in the future. Yeah. So there you have it. Looks like it's, I don't think it's going to be as topsy-turvy, you know, it's still going to be weird, but it's not going to be as like, well, you're just going to have to just understand that you really can't take it all on. You can't solve every problem in the world. Like you do, unfortunately, have to keep some perspective here and work with what you've got. And yeah, work with what you've got and be, you know, be in the moment. Try not to get too far ahead of yourself. It's going to be kind of annoying because we've still got some retrogrades going on, and you know, Mars is still doing all kinds of wacky things that are, you know, making us want to be impulsive and irrational and like, you know, blah blah blah. So if you have a tendency to be irrational and have, you know, problems with anger and things like that, then you definitely don't want to be letting things build. You want to be dealing with them. I've said this for a while yet. Obviously, it's like it's a better way to live regardless, but it does seem to keep coming up. So for planetary reasons as well as any, but um, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna make it. It's just gonna look different when we get there, you know? So you really do have to kind of live in the moment and enjoy what's right in front of you and make the most of it and, you know, hug a tree and kiss the earth and, you know, feel the water and still, you know, enjoy those summery months while they're here. And it's like simple pleasures, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like simple pleasures are divine and are some of the most memorable pleasures that we create. So that might be, you know, something that people are looking at too, as far as how am I leaving my mark? Where is my substance? How do I, you know, how do I affect others? And that was weird. So, um, ride with the tide and go with the flow, as they say. So, have a beautiful month. Enjoy what you can when you can. Don't feel guilty for having a blessed life, and enjoy what you know, the beauty of who you are and where you're coming from, and keep the faith that your higher self is trying to clear the path for your immediate future and for your long distance places. So a lot of it is on automatic pilot, whether you feel, you know, that or not. It is really how it usually goes. And you may as well enjoy the ride, because you don't have, I mean, yeah, you got to make it. You got to do it. You got to have fun. You got to live it. You got to be it. So definitely take care of your health. You know, your body talks to you, so let it be listened to. And don't worry about, you know, oh, I need to sleep in the middle of the day, or I'm staying up all night because I need to feel the quiet. Whatever it is, just go with it and allow yourself to adjust through whatever changes are trying to anchor into you. So yeah, I'll see you in another little bit, a few weeks from now. And I would also, you know, like, go with your intuitive senses too, as far as how you relate to people and how you reach out to people too. So if you're getting little psychic hits, or, you know, you're thinking about the same person over and over, then you need to talk, or you need to call, or you need to do whatever you need to do, you know, because it's those kinds of things on the receiving end of the people that you might be reaching out to, where they really need it. And where, you know, it's such a subtle gesture on your part, it can have great meaning. So like, that's how you know, give to humanity, by following those little inner suggestions. And there's tons of messages coming through for us all the time, and all of them are worthy to be listened to and considered. So, you know, keep in mind that part of the inner work is the listening and the connecting and the um, you know, allowing to be guided. So have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day, and night, and next day after that, and on and on and on, until you get your happy ending after all. Okay, so yeah, see you next time.